Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we are heading into the ISS here. And I'm just going to put us into kill rot and we'll start a bit of a deceleration burn that is also a bit of a corrective burn. I just want to curve our trajectory around a little bit here. We need to figure out exactly where we're planning on docking this thing and where we're planning on installing the components inside. So let's take a quick look at the ISS here. We want to dock up on the Russian side. I'm currently leaning towards docking here on the edge. And then we would install this down here, which it should be able to install itself. We would actually end up installing it down in one of these docking ports. I'd need to check to see which one that will end up being. So that's the overall idea here then. And do we have the correct docking port selected here? Almost. It would need to be this guy. So we'll set that as our target. We're currently about 1.5 meters per second. That seems fine. And let's just bring this slideshow on around. Okay, so what is the direction we are currently traveling in? Let's head to relative velocity minus here. And we're just going to position ourselves over here. Actually, I think we have a reaction wheel tucked away up here somewhere, don't we? Yes, we do. Okay, noted. So that'll be fine for returning home. And we can see we're heading nearly directly to this location. I'm going to turn on our RCS and give ourselves a little bit of thrust in... and I want to be at target minus here. A little bit of thrust in this direction up here. So I just want to push us down and around the station at this time. So something about like this or so. Okay, and let's warp a bit forward. We're going to need to get rid of that momentum quite soon. In fact, about now, we should be clear on that front. Okay, just bringing this over to be about there or so. And let's just move ourselves on over to the other side of the station. Very, very close here. I want to warp a little bit further. Okay, about here. So now we're going to point at target velocity minus, or actually target velocity, or target plus, actually. And get rid of this RCS for the moment. Cool. We're going to want to move this velocity quite a lot, of course. But for the moment, this will do absolutely fine. So we're just going to bring this guy on around. And RCS on. And I am just curving our velocity here to be basically directly away from this target. Then we're going to accelerate towards the target a little bit. Cool. So something about like here. Everything is reversed right now. We should probably flip over, but something about like that. Okay, let's head towards the target. And we're in a pretty good spot here. I'm going to head in at about 0.5 meter per second. It looks like we're reasonably lined up for this. So that seems fine. This currently has an inflatable airlock right here, which I suspect is supposed to be the inflatable airlock that we're going to bring in one of our future flights. But I'm not 100% convinced by that. We could have two. It's not a big deal. So that is okay. In terms of our trajectory here, we are a little bit off. We need to go in this direction a bit, which is exactly what we're going to do. And we're just going to get a little lined up here. That is looking somewhat better. Okay. Bringing it right back into line here. It's not perfect yet, but it is pretty close. So that'll do for the moment. I do want to rotate us so that our solar panels roughly align. And we can see that we're going to need to get some additional changes here. So we're going to want to head in this direction a little bit. And in this direction a little bit. Okay. Getting nice and in line here. Looks reasonable. Bringing this back. How are we looking? Correct-ish, I think. Correct-ish is the takeaway here. So that is good enough for the time being. We, of course, have some extra docking ports here, which is deliberate. We're not going to need them, I don't think. So taking a look at our chart here, as we slowly head in, we want this to be facing in the forward direction. So we want this to be facing the American side of the station. So this is going to be in this port over here. We might want to attach a new docking port somewhere over here. So that is a doable thing. Did we include an extra docking port in here? I don't think we did, but we do have extra docking ports around. So that should be reasonably fine. I'm not too concerned about that. We definitely have extra docking ports around. Okay, let's just very, very gently bring this on in. I'm going to correct our velocity a little bit here. And this should be reasonably close. Close enough for docking forces to take over. I'm really not very concerned about that. So just bring this guy right on in. And we're going to need to attach another docking port down here. I think that's pretty clear. I'll attach it right about here, with the intention of having like a second inflatable airlock. So yeah, I'm just thinking about like the directionality of that. It's fine. We'll have 2 inflatable airlocks. Not a big deal. The whole Nauka module is a little awkward for us, but we hit that pretty much right on the money, and that seems absolutely fine. So I'm now going to have Bill EVA. And with Bill EVA'd, we are going to want to grab somewhere a docking port. Where do we have a docking port? Well, first off, Bill, you're going to have to get disentangled here. There you go. We're going to head up over this direction. I don't know if we have one at the Nauka module. We theoretically could, I suppose. Not in that cargo storage unit. Okay. So I guess that's a no on that front. Let's just hop on over this direction for the time being. We know there should be a docking port out over here. Okay. So something about like this. Where are we at for velocity here? Okay, yep, there's a docking port here. I'm going to put that... Hang on, we're not in Kerbal construction mode. That would help. So if I don't minimize the game, there we go. Kerbal construction mode, and I want to go down right now, Bill. Come on, Bill. Head in a useful direction, please. Bill, can you face a correct direction here? There you go. Now we're going to want to go down. Okay, so we want to attach this about right here. For the moment, I'm just going to grab this hitchhiker storage container. And the question is, what do we have for range as far as attaching this thing? Well, we're waiting for the game to get caught up here. It appears to have not grabbed it. Okay, we'll head back up. We must have drifted out of range before it actually updated. Well, we'll grab this again. There, we've got it. Okay, I'm going to place this in space out over here, and we're going to get some velocity down this way. Okay, so now that's in space, and we're going to head down this direction, grabbing that free-floating docking port. And we want to just install that in snapping mode, ideally, somewhere around right there. Looks good. So that's the overall concept anyway. We'll just attach that there. Bill is going to do an animation here. That's fine, but not necessarily the most useful thing for him to do. Wow, that moved in a lot. Okay, we're going to want to use the move tool here as soon as we can control Bill again. Come on. There you go. We're going to want to use the move tool here and pop that guy out just a little bit in local space. Something more like that. Yeah, that looks more likely that we're going to be able to get that. Okay. Oh, we broke this. Well, we've got repair kits right up over here. I didn't actually think that that was going to break it. I thought that we might impact, but at that speed, I thought it would be fine. But like I said, we've got repair kits, so no problem whatsoever here. We can just grab one of these EVA repair kits, and I'm going to deposit that as soon as the game gets caught up. We drifted out of range again. Okay. As soon as the game gets caught up, we'll put that here and just swap this out. Now I'm going to repair this solar panel. Once again, as soon as the game gets caught up. There we go. Repair that, extend the solar panel, and we'll re-grab our parachute. No point in keeping that here. So we'll put that in Bill's inventory. There we go. And we just need to go get back into the capsule over here at this point. So that is indeed exactly the plan. This is extending, right? Oh, that... What? This is not attached? How did that get detached? Okay, that's kind of wild. Wait, is it extended? I'm very confused by what's happening with this solar panel right now. I think it was rotating to the sun, but it wasn't actually... Okay, now it's extended. We clearly have a bug going on there. Okay, let's just attach it like this. It should be good now. That was clearly buggy. Luckily, we got it, I think, under control. The rotation is definitely imperfect. Let's see about rotating that. Okay, I want to have the snap on. So let's just snap that into position there. That should be good. Okay. Now let's not break another one of those. We're going to head back to the Soyuz. And that'll be absolutely fine. Bill's work here should be done. All he needs to do now is get back onto the Soyuz. So down a bit, Bill. There you go. And you're just looking to grab onto this crew hatch, which is on, I believe, this side. What side is that on? Oh, it's up over here. Okay. Up you come, Bill. Bill is being very awkward, but it's fine. Down? There you go, Bill. Grab on. Now Bill can board. We're going to exit Kerbal construction mode here before we board, just in case. We know that that can cause problems. And where's his board option? There it is. Okay. So at this time, now we need to deploy the actual component that we came here to deploy. So I want to, if the frame rate will let us, get in over here. It's a little hard to see, but all we should need is the first couple of components here. Okay. The camera really doesn't want to be out over this way. I'm going to attempt to pan the camera like so. Okay. The camera really doesn't want to be out over here. However, we got there. So, next up, oh, we do need to actually have Bill EVA here because we need to remove the struts that are over this way. So, to that end, we need to remove this strut. And I'm going to put that into the hitchhiker storage container. And then we're going to remove this strut as well. That will be all that Bill needs to do at this time. Okay. There you go, Bill. Now you are done here. And as soon as the game gets caught up, Bill can hop back in. Beautiful. Now we can work on deployment. So we need to pivot the camera way out over here and have it be about here or so. What we need is this hinge. So we can then rotate this hinge to be, it looks like -90. Yes. -90 is acceptable. Then we need to grab this extension arm. And we can extend that guy on out. Beautiful. And with that extended, of course, things will get a fair amount easier for us. Next, we're going to need to rotate this around to 0 degrees. And this is way too high of a traverse rate, by the way. We'll go down to about 10. And same thing here, traverse rate of about 10. This can be, we could release it as it is, or we could just bring it to its target angle, which is, of course, the desired target angle. Okay, so we're going to be undocking this. It's going to be redocked up out over here, specifically. Now, to be clear, this is intended originally to be docked up via the arm, but we can't do that. So that is just not an option for us. This is getting into position here, and we are able now to undock this guy. The question is, does this have enough battery charge and monoprop? It should have both. Why are we overshooting here? Oh, we want this to be at 0 degrees, not at -90. That would do it. Okay, so we're going to put that at 0 degrees, and we'll be able to undock this shortly. Then we'll have to pilot it over and dock it up out over here, which is absolutely fine on that new docking port that we just put in. So that'll be great, and we can undock this now. So that'll be this guy. Cool. And now we're on this probe, but we're going to need to change our offset on our camera. There we go. That's a little bit more like it. And this is a docking port junior, as is this. So we want to set that as our target. And I'm going to turn RCS on. What direction is what here? That's about the right direction. Okay. And we also want to be on Kilrot. Cool. So we're going to bring this guy right on around. I do not want to impact that solar panel, but we're nowhere near it. Cool. So let's just bring ourselves around. I want to control from here. And we want this to be upwards facing, I believe. Yeah. So that's absolutely fine. We can do that once we get around here. We do have pretty offset thrust here, so we'll have to keep that in mind as we maneuver this around. But that's okay. I'm going to be bringing this back very shortly. We just need to get over to the far side here, right? And I want to start heading, like, kind of towards target ever so slightly. Not tremendously towards target, but a little bit towards target. Okay, we're just letting the target drift into position here. We're going to need to rotate this thing quite a lot. Okay. I'm just thinking about what direction we need to travel here. And it is still this way. Okay, bringing it back down. And now I want to point at the target. And I want to head kind of toward the target. Ooh, that's very fast. Noted. So we're going to need to reduce the thrust on these down to like 10% thrust. There's a lot of thrust there. So that's reasonably fine. Much better on that. So we're now heading towards the target. I want to rotate us around so that this is facing upwards, right? So it wants to be facing about here. And now what I want is to move in that upward direction. So we want to be pushing... That's downward. Noted. We want to be pushing up this way. Cool. And we'll just slowly rotate this around. I want to also move in towards the target a little bit. And we just want to very, very gently orient this. I'm also adjusting our roll a little bit, but we'll probably need more adjustment on that front. Okay. So we're not trying to go towards the target at this moment. We're just trying to get kind of lined up for it. And mostly in this vector is what I'm concerned about at this moment. So we need to position our camera about here, and we'll know when we're in vector this way. We're going to need to go down a bit, but that's fine. I'm not too concerned about that. No problem whatsoever here. We'll just get this thing oriented. Okay, we're very, very close now. And I'm bringing this down. There we go. As far as in the other direction, we need to go this way. Cool. So we'll do that for now, and we'll get approximately lined up here. So this is looking better. A little bit further. About here. Bringing it back. And we're going to head slightly towards target. Not very much. I'm going to correct some roll here. About there. And I think that we're going to need to head this way a little bit more. So let's do ever so slightly a little bit of that. Looks decent. Heading towards target. We're approximately correct. It's not perfect at this moment. Changing our roll a little bit to about there. And we're still off slightly on this targeting, but that's to be expected. Okay, about there. Docking forces will likely take it from here. So this should be decent. And then we're going to have a second inflatable airlock up over here. I don't think there's actually two inflatable airlocks here, but this'll do. Cool. So we're going to have another module that ends up going down here, right? And then, yeah, that'll be the Prashal module. That's fine. No problem whatsoever there. That'll be, I think, a next episode sort of thing. Just making some slight modifications to our trajectory here. Very, very minor. And overall, this is looking good. We're in approximately the correct orientation, although maybe ever so slightly like this. And we should be docking up very, very shortly here. Okay, that's docking forces, and there we're docked. Beautiful. So that'll do. That gives us this area, and then all we need here, of course, we can extend this radiator, but all we're going to need here is an inflatable airlock, and that is going to go in like a horizontal vector, and that's absolutely fine. So there we go. We've got another module here, and we're ready to bring this Soyuz back at this point. We don't need anything else here. So let's undock, and we'll bring our Soyuz back. I'm not going to leave behind any of these. We'll clean that up next time we have a Soyuz launch, which will be next launch. So that'll be absolutely okay. I do want to get this all stowed away. So we're going to unextend this telescoping hydraulic cylinder, and we're going to set this hinge at 0 degrees. This traverse rate's a little high. So we'll just do something like that, get that all stowed. It might wiggle around a bit, we'll see, but we can close our service bay. We can get a little bit of distance from the station. Cool. And let's then head into orbital retrograde. And let's see what direction that's in. It looks like it's a safe direction. Yeah, that seems absolutely fine. It is, however, time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to bring this guy on home. And we'll see about maybe the design for the next component here, which is going to be attached right down over here. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, just double checking that this is a regular sized docking port, and it is. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kentogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.